Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better.
Nathan Rogers here with MMA Futures. I'm joined today by Tomas Ornelas. Thomas, how you doing today?
Doing wonderful, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. Fighting with Airtight Boxing this Friday. You're obviously very familiar with. I mean, what does it mean for you to be coming back as the main event, being able to defend your title there?
Honestly, it's kind of something. It's normal. Honestly, it's normal in the sense in this past couple years. I fought for the first Airtight Boxing title against Matthias. I would probably want to say 2022, 23, something like that. I think it's 2023. But pretty much any time we're back here on the main event, it's for that title, and a lot of guys want it, but doesn't really seem to get in their hands.
Now, I was just looking at the highlights from your last show that we just posted yesterday, and you kind of own that boxing match from beginning to end. Are you kind of expecting the same thing this match, or what is your expectations going into this?
Yeah, I know from what I've heard, from what I've seen, he's definitely a pressure fighter, as I like to be as well. I love to fight on the inside. It's kind of weird. It's different for me when somebody's the same way. I just don't feel that much pressure when it comes to that play, because in my mind, what I believe is if anyone sits in there in the middle with me, sits in there tight with me, I don't think that they can beat me on the inside.
You know, I noticed watching your fight that you're definitely a pressure fighter. You're definitely not a guy to sit back on your heels and wait for him to come at you. Does that pay a toll after 3 or 4 rounds? You know, always pushing the pressure and always kind of sitting at your pace like that?
You would think so. But I think after the amount of sparring I do, the amount of sparring that we do, and you just kind of get used to it. You definitely get there. You get tired after a couple rounds, but then you sit back and then you just take a deep breath, and you're sitting there and you just go back to the basics. You box for a couple seconds, then you're back to fighting on the inside, and you just get that second wind.
What does it mean to you to be able to control the pressure of the fight and kind of control the speed of it?
Really, it just means me being me. If I can't be myself, it's definitely a hard fight. But I've never been to that point where I can't. I think the only fight that I've ever had where I couldn't just be on the inside, where I felt comfortable, was against Kelvin Davis. I fought Kelvin Davis, and it was harder for me because I'm a short dude. I'm 5'7", and he's probably a good 6'3". And for me, fighting on the outside was difficult at the time. But I don't know if you saw the full fight for this last fight. I've kind of adjusted to that.
Man, I mean, you're 9-4. You got 5 knockouts. Very obviously, you know, you're kind of a go-getter there. You're not someone that sits back and kind of waits for the fight to come to you. Kind of what is your goals in the sport, and kind of where are you headed with these fights?
I'm hoping something big, especially probably after this fight. We fought on ESPN. Unfortunately, we got a loss there. But after this, I'd like to make bigger moves. I've been talking with Steve, seeing what we can do with that. But as of right now, we're going to focus on this fight and never look past the present fight that we're going on. But yes, I'm hoping to get bigger things, where I could potentially get like a world title shot at some point in my future.
I know that kind of the boxing community is kind of small. I'm assuming you came up through the Golden Gloves program and stuff like that in USA Boxing?
No, actually, I've never fought in USA Boxing. I've never fought with headgear at all. I've had 2 pro-am fights. Basically, they're 12-ounce gloves with no headgear. I've had 2 of those, but I've never fought amateur.
Interesting. I mean, so kind of, I know that you kind of, you kind of come from a boxing family, right?
Yeah. So my dad fought back in the day. I think his amateur record was 56, 6-1 or something like that. 56, 8-1, something like that. And he had a couple professional fights, I want to say. It was hard back then because they didn't have big commissions. So whenever one fight got canceled, all of them got canceled. But he's telling me he's got invites to go fight in Mexico and in Europe at some point. But yeah, I don't know if you saw. So my initials are T.K.O. He intentionally made my middle name K and my first name T. obviously my last name is Ornelas. So he intentionally did that so that we can grow up fighting. But when I was 10 months old, I cracked my skull open right here. I was on a walker and my mom was decorating for a birthday party. And after that, my mom was like, nobody's fighting. But yeah. When I got to age 18, I looked at a gym. I just kind of drifted away. When I got to 21, I knew Steve from one of my aunts was with one of his best friends. I just kind of all clicked together, and after 2 amateur pro-ams, he's like, you want to go pro? And in my head, I just wanted to try it because it's something that my dad talked about when we were kids, and my mom didn't allow. So I just tried it, and apparently I was good at it.
So let's talk a little bit about the rest of the card. I mean, I'm sure that you know some guys on the card and you're familiar with them. How do you think this card stacks up? The undercard below you.
I think there's going to be some great fights. I know Conrad. He's fighting a very large. This dude's. Think they want to say he's 400 pounds or something like that. And I was like, that's a lot of weight on that ring. But Conrad, he's an older man, but he's been getting in the gym, and he's definitely ready for this fight. And I'm excited to see what he has to bring to the table.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you hopping on and chatting with us a little bit, and I look forward to seeing your fight on Friday.